Good morning. And as we're listening in to the Apostle Paul challenging the the attitudes and the character of those early Christians in Corinth, it resonates even in our own hearts. And then he writes to them and he says, "Look, you need to know where I'm coming from." He says, "I don't write these things to shame you, but to admonish you as my beloved children. For if you were to have countless tutors in Christ, yet you would not have many fathers. For in Christ Jesus I became your father through the gospel. Therefore I exhort you, be imitators of me. For this reason I've sent to you Timothy, who is my beloved and faithful child in the Lord. And he will remind you of my ways, which are in Christ, just as I teach everywhere in every church." So Paul has been using this sarcastic approach to the arrogance of those Christians in Corinth and contrasting their position and their attitude with that of Paul and the other apostles. And he says, "Be imitators of me." Later on in chapter 11, he's going to say, "You follow me as I follow Christ, in the same way that I follow Christ." It's like, we're at the beginning of winter here, and you can follow somebody through the deep snow much more easily if you put your feet where they put their feet. If they're breaking the trail for you, it's so much easier. And that's what Jesus did. He said, "You walk this pathway, I will walk with you." The Apostle Paul says, "You walk the pathway because I'm following Jesus, you follow me, and together we're following Jesus." I like the way he said it in chapter 11. He says, "You follow me as I follow Christ." I'm following him. You fix your eyes on Jesus and me, and we should be lining up. So I want to encourage you as we read these few verses here, that you would find someone who is ahead of you on the journey and follow them. Spend your money the way they spend their money to glorify Christ. Spend your time the way they spend their time to glorify Christ. Treat your wife the way they treat their wife or husband. Treat your children the way they treat their children, because they've learned. Now, every example that you follow is still going to have character flaws. So look beyond them as well, but see the way they live their lives. And then you live your life so that those coming behind you can look to you as an example. You leave a model in how to handle my time, my money, my temper, my character. How do I handle all of these things in a Christ-like way? And so you're following someone and others are following you. So we can say, like the Apostle Paul, "Be imitators of me because I am like Christ. I have the Spirit of Christ. He's controlling me. He's guiding me. He's giving me his wisdom." So I want to encourage you to definitely elevate other people in your estimation and follow them. But then you also need to be recognizable as a disciple of Christ. I love that verse that just impacted me so deeply a little over a week ago when I was just listening to it again. Acts 4:13, where the apostles were on trial again and recognized as uneducated men. These guys don't have degrees hanging on their wall. They don't have caps and gowns hanging in their closet. They're uneducated. How in the world can they be having such a powerful impact? And then they recognize them as having been with Jesus. And if you commit yourself to being with Jesus day in and day out, through the easy days and through the difficult days, through the days of bright sunshine and the days of deep tragedy, you commit yourself to being with Jesus. and you will quickly become a good model for other people to follow. God bless you. He loves you, and we love you too.